4+ years ago. Is this what you envisioned, or what's this journey been like for you compared to what you thought you were getting into when you got here?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely what I imagined. Obviously our job isn't finished yet, but Coach Michael came to me with a vision, talking about how we were going to change the culture, and I feel like I was the first guy to really believe in that vision, and yeah, I feel like we've done a good job of just changing the perception and changing the culture of Rutgers basketball.
And Gio, how much have you?
Sorry, I think you broke up a little bit there.
We'll go over to Kratz while Joe has to get back on.
Gio, a lot of people would say that you're kind of the face of this whole Rutgers renaissance, that you're the guy who's always going to be remembered as kind of who took the first step with Peichel. What does that mean to you, I guess? And I guess how would you want people to remember your legacy at Rutgers, whenever it kind of comes to a conclusion?
I would say that, if people call me the face, it doesn't mean too much to me. What I want my legacy to be is just to be a winner. That's what I want to be known for. I feel like at the end of the day, winning is just the most important thing of the game. Either you won or you didn't, and that's what it comes down to. That's the type of game that we play. But being known as the face, that's not something that I'm really too worried about. I'm just worried about winning basketball games.
Sorry, we can try and go back to you. All right, sorry, Jerry. We'll move on to Steve Politi.
Hey, Gio, we've just heard so many stories about how difficult this year has been with all the COVID restrictions, the isolation, et cetera. I'm just wondering, from your perspective, has it all been worth it, or are there times when you've wondered, if this really was worth it?
It's been a tough year. It's definitely been different, and everyone's going through it for the first time, so no one really knew what to expect. But I would say that basketball is the one thing that's going to keep all of us sane during these times. Where everything feels so abnormal, basketball is the one thing that's kind of been constant for us, and so that's been really good. It's definitely worth it. We all love the game, we love to win, we love to compete, and that's what we've been doing, and we're going to continue to do that.
What did Chris Nowalski?
Hey Gio, I'm sure you saw the announcement yesterday with with fans and parents being able to come to the game tomorrow. I was wondering if your family was able to make it, and just how special it is to have some family in there, in the last game.
Yeah, it's great that we get to see some familiar faces. My mom actually won't be coming. I told her that she could see me at the tournament, so we're gonna have to wait for that.
Thanks.
Brian Fonseca.
I know it's crunch time of the season, and you might not be thinking about this, but you obviously have another year of eligibility if you choose to come back. Have you given any thought to that at all, about whether you'll be back next year, what your future plans are after this next month?
Yeah, I'm sure it's something that's on everybody's mind. But we got to keep our feet where we're at right now, honestly, and just focus on finishing this year before we start thinking ahead. So right now, I'm just focused on this team, this unit, and just trying to win these games.
Over to JP.
Gio, two-part question here. First of all, last year you guys only had one loss at home. This year you have 4. Not making excuses. Were there times where you felt like maybe if you had the usual rack, that there might have been times where they could have the crowd could have helped to get intimidate the opponents or push you guys over the top? And the second part is, you talked about before about how you'll see at the tournament. How tough is it right now? I mean, to not look ahead and to finish the business, because you guys pretty much knew you were in this year and it got taken away. How do you keep from just focusing one game at a time, like Coach says?
So for the teams on our away games too. So I feel like it goes both ways. And I mean, sometimes it makes the game a little bit cooler because then it really just comes down to who's more talented, who's gonna do certain things during a game. So it changes the game a little bit. It's definitely a different type of game with no crowd. Sorry, I don't remember the second part of your question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. About the tournament, I mean, you guys, like Nick was saying, you guys pretty much knew you were gonna have to beat Purdue, and then they pull you off the court in Indy, and just the unfinished business. How do you keep from looking ahead to that and just finish out the season the right way? How do you guys keep from thinking about the NCAAs right now?
Yeah, we just have to take it one game at a time. That's really the only thing. We have 3 games left. We were in a similar situation last year. We faced adversity all year this year. Been some tough losses. Little losing streak. But you can't control the past, and then you can only control what's in front of us right now. So we have to take it one game at a time. We have 3 games left.
Thanks. We'll go over to Sarge and then Aaron Bright.
Geo, was there one moment at home over these last 4 years that that stands out in your mind? A buzzer beater, maybe. Big play. Was there one game, one moment that kind of stands out in your mind? Reflecting back.
I would say the Seton Hall win at home my freshman year was probably the most fun moment I've had. Just we really didn't win a lot of games that year, but you could kind of feel, I don't know how to, you could feel Rutgers Nation was more supportive of us after that game. Like, you could tell that people were starting to believe in us after that, and I think that game is the most special to me.
Geo, how much does the way you guys as a team finished last season help now with the situation you're in for going down the stretch of this season? And then also, how is being on the court, is it still easier to be carefree and kind of be focused with all that's going on, or has the grind of this season been harder to kind of be loose on the court as the season's going on?
I would say for the first part of your question, just being in the situation before definitely helps us. Having veterans, guys who know how to handle these types of situations. I think that puts us in a great spot for these next 3 games, as long as we're focused and locked in. Could you repeat the second part of your question? Sorry.
Sure. Just with everything that you've had to deal with off the court, has it made it harder when you're on the court to kind of have that, retreat from everything else and kind of be more carefree like you guys have been in the past?
I wouldn't say so. I feel like basketball is kind of our escape. When we're playing basketball, that's what we're thinking about. We're thinking about being on the court, having fun, competing. This is what we came here to do. I wouldn't say that the outside world really affects that.
See if we can get back to you directly.
Hey, am I coming through?
Yeah, you're good.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm in the car. I had to pick up my son from school. This is the life we lead now. Geo, Michael has often said, when referring to you over the years, the number 414. I'm sure you've heard him say it. What is that? Why does he say that? And what do you think of that? And what you've become since that?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I never even knew that until people here kept bringing it up. Like, I had no idea that was even a thing. I didn't even know they ranked people to that number. Like, that's crazy to me. But I think it just shows the work that I've put in, and it shows how much he believed in me too. Because I didn't have any other high major offers. Like, Rutgers was really the only school that believed in me. And here we are now. I got 13 All Big Ten last year. There's only a handful of guys who get on that list. We're in the top half of the Big Ten. And I feel like I've been one of the leaders for that, for that cause. So I think it just shows the progress and the hard work that we both put in.
And Gio, one more thing. I know you already answered a question about next year, but beyond next year, beyond basketball, what do you want to do? I mean, you seem like the type of guy who can make a difference in the world. Do you have any idea what you'd ultimately like to be?
I mean, ultimately, I've always wanted to be a basketball coach. I feel like I'm actually a lot better at teaching the game than playing it. I've always said that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm definitely outspoken, maybe a little too outspoken at times. So, but that can be a good thing too. So, I mean, I'm really honestly not sure right now, but I would say ultimately, definitely, I want to be a basketball coach. I like teaching the game.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
We'll go to Steve Politi and then Reggie.
Hey, Gio, we're almost at the 1-year anniversary of getting pulled off the court in Indianapolis at the Big Ten tournament. I'm just curious what you remember about the night before, what you remember about being out there when it happened. What sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, so, oh man, I was just talking about this the other day. The night before, we were watching the Nebraska game when Coach Hoiberg got pulled off the court for being sick. And, at this time, we didn't really know what COVID was, but, it started to get very serious very fast because the Rudy Gobert thing had just happened. So we all didn't think we were going to play. Like, we had that in our minds when we went to sleep. But then we got up and we took the bus over to the game. We started warming up. Still, like, you could see it on Michigan's faces, our faces, like, neither of us thought we were going to play the game, but we kept warming up, going, and then they took us off the floor with, like, 5 minutes left in warm-ups. And at that point, we basically knew, and Coach Michael kind of came in, like, all slow, and you could just tell, like, by his face that we weren't going to play. Once he said it, what I remember was I was sitting next to Joey Downs, who, I mean, all you guys know is, was a big part of our team, huge part of our team, and he just started crying instantly, just because we knew there it was going to go beyond the Big Ten tournament. It was going to be the NCAA tournament as well, and just thinking about all the hard work that he put in while he was here, him, Quasi, Shaq, like that just really hurt us, and we all were just sitting there in silence for a really long time. I just remember holding Joey pretty much for like probably 20 minutes, and that's probably my most vivid memory of that day.
Gio, looking back at your recruitment, I think you got offered in April of 2016, and you took a visit, and you committed not too long after. When did you know Rutgers was the spot for you, and have you accomplished all your goals over the years?
Yeah, so I knew I was coming to Rutgers as soon as I took my unofficial visit. Coach Michael was just very interesting to me. He thought a little too big, which is kind of how I am too. I always think a little too big, and so it just felt like a really good match. And I knew I was coming right away. I didn't want to say it right away just because the AU team that I was playing for, we had multiple Division I guys, so I wanted schools to keep coming, just to be able to see my teammates as well. And so I never told anyone I was committing yet. But so that's when I knew I was coming. And then could you repeat the second part?
Obviously, you had a couple goals coming into your freshman year. Have you accomplished all those goals?
Not yet. We gotta go to the tournament. That's number one on the list. I feel like I've had individual goals throughout my years, but those only get accomplished through winning, and that's always number one. So we have to go to the tournament.
Go back to Jared.
I'm sorry if I missed this when I cut out. Gio, is your mother coming down, or is anyone coming down for you tomorrow?
No, my mom's not coming. I told her that she has to wait for the tournament. She's gonna see me in the tournament. Yeah, she has to wait for the tournament.
She'll go to Indianapolis if you're there?
Yeah, she has to see me in the tournament.
Okay, fair enough.
Steve Politi. Guys, anybody else have anything for Gio? If not, thanks, Gio. We'll let you go. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Gio.
Have a good one.
You too.